Imagine waking up one day with the strange feeling that everything around you was already written, that the faces around you, that harsh mother, the distant father, the brother who seems to compete with you for every crumb of affection, are not just part of chance or genetics. What if they were part of something infinitely greater, a plan designed long before you were born? What if your current pain is, in fact, the continuation of an ancient story, marked by invisible bonds, forgotten promises, and silent spiritual pacts? This video will take you to that point of origin where it all began, not with your birth, but with the choice of your soul. On a plane above the one we know, where time is not in a hurry and the soul sees with eternal eyes, important decisions are made, not on impulse, but through spiritual lucidity. In this sacred setting, guided by mentors, protectors, and entities of light, you not only saw the future that would come, you chose to participate in it. You chose the challenges, the reunions, the wounds that would come back to be healed. You chose that house, that womb, that surname. And it wasn't for punishment. It was for evolution. Because the soul you carry doesn't seek comfort, it seeks meaning. And sometimes this meaning only reveals itself when pain pushes us inward. Most of the time, the reunion between souls doesn't happen at parties or hugs. It happens in the disagreements, in the fights, in the silences that hurt more than any scream. It's in these moments that the spirit awakens and asks itself, why am I living this again? Because yes, it may not be the first time. Many families are formed by souls that crossed paths in other lives, made mistakes, got hurt, and came back together to try again. And if you feel like you're the most sensitive, the most aware, the most restless, maybe it's because your soul was the first to wake up, and it was chosen to start the healing, to break patterns, to transform pain into wisdom. When you choose to love someone who doesn't know how to love, you are breaking ancestral chains. When you decide to forgive the unforgivable, you are undoing knots that have spanned centuries, and even if it seems that no one sees or recognizes it, the spiritual world is present. Every gesture of unrequited love, every choice of silence instead of confrontation, every tear that you wipe away in silence, all of this resonates, vibrates, heals. Because true love doesn't need a stage, it acts in the invisible, and it is in this invisible that the most profound reunions happen. What if I told you that the person who rejects you the most today is the same person who, in another life, you hurt with words that you can no longer remember? What if the father who turned his back on you was someone you abandoned in another existence? Spiritism shows us that life is cyclical, and that no pain comes without a cause. What now seems unfair may be just a chapter in a long spiritual story, in which roles change, but the learning continues. And the most beautiful thing about all of this, love does not die. It can hide, be confused with anger, disguise itself as indifference, but it always comes back. It always finds you again. Some souls carry the silent mission of healing what others ignore, of offering affection where there was once contempt, of being a shelter where there was only a storm. And this mission is solitary, yes, but it is sacred, because the soul that accepts to carry this light illuminates the entire lineage. It frees not only itself, but those who came before and those who will come after. You can be that soul, the soul that decides not to repeat the mistake, that does not respond with hate, that does not feed the cycle, that does not expect to be understood, but chooses to understand. And by doing so, you change the course of your story and the story of those around you. Nothing is wasted on the spiritual plane. No pain is in vain, no absence is for nothing. Everything has an invisible root, a deeper reason. And when you begin to see with the eyes of the spirit, you realize that abandonment was an invitation to autonomy. That rejection taught you to love yourself. That silence led you to listen to your own soul. And that's when everything changes. Because healing begins the moment you stop resisting what you're experiencing and start asking, what is the spiritual meaning of what I'm feeling? Maybe now, at this very moment, you're ready to take a step further. To see your story not as a burden, but as a mission. Because true reunion doesn't happen with physical hugs. It happens within. The soul recognizes. The soul understands. The soul frees. And it's in this silent recognition that the miracle of spiritual reconciliation begins. If this video touched something inside you, know that it was no accident. Your soul is ready to remember, and here at the Code of Reunion, each video is a further step on this journey. In the next episode, you will understand why so many souls who love each other test themselves so much, and why pain is the path to the purest reunion that exists, the reunion with your spiritual truth. See you then.